All right, we back. Marcy Sports Talk in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. One time for the one time we grinding. Um, Special free agent spotlight tonight. Do a live one, man. So I appreciate it. As soon as the Pistons get back rolling, I do a stream for the Pistons. I owed y'all a live stream from last week. Got a little bit behind the 8 ball beast mode 21840 is going on. But I owed y'all the Lion stream. So I gotta get more consistent. But if you haven't, make sure you follow my other channel, Goodfellow Sports TV. If you like this content, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna like a lot of the content I do over there. But right now it's Marcy Sports Talk. And we're gonna talk some Lions free agency. And we've been doing the free agent spotlight. I'm gonna start a playlist for that, all right? For the free agent spotlight. And also I will be starting a podcast platform for this real soon, at least probably before the Lions draft really kick off. So before the combine, I hope to do that. All the live shows are going on that platform. Salute Mark Cunningham. What's going on? 4GA722. What's up, Renardo? 291 Max Stang. And I can't pronounce your name. I appreciate it. But bro, Bell went to Michigan State and Brown, Central Michigan. Come your hometown team. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be a huge pickup for both of them. You know what I'm saying? Brown and Le'Veon. But let's talk about some of the kind of the under the radar guys. Let's talk about the under the radar guys. And one of the guys I talked about in the 3 free agent spotlights I've done so far. We did, I think 4. I think the first was Jadeveon Clowney, Dante Fowler, and Dominican Sue, all defenders, defensive linemen. Then we went to the linebacker crew last night with CJ Mosley, which I really, really like him. And one thing I noticed that Sports Illustrated released a top 100 list. And one of the guys that was down there in the 30s, John Brown. Now, a lot of us are talking about getting a wide receiver, right? And I'm going to see exactly what his number is. We talk about, I've been an advocate of Odell because he's young, but he does have some injury issues. And I'm not mad if they get Antonio Brown either because I think he aged well. And I think he kind of a fiery guy that Matthew Stafford would need. But it's a guy down here that's in the 30s. And his name is John Brown, okay? And yeah, I'm trying to look exactly what his number is on here. I can't remember exactly what I've seen him at, but I think he's a free agent, John Brown. He was with the Arizona Cardinals. Exactly. He's number 63. He's 29 years old, but he got lost in the shuffle last year, okay? He got lost in the shuffle when Lamar Jackson took over. You talking about a value pickup, where the Lions won't have to break the bank, but feeling the need. That's a hell of a feel right there getting John Brown. Because John Brown, he can line up in the slot, but you know what? We need somebody that can get deep, and we need that security for Brandon Powell. Let's say Brandon Powell not ready. And we're ready to move on from T.J. Jones for being injury prone. John Brown can be a number 2 receiver on probably 70% of NFL teams. Okay? You said, well, why did the Arizona Cardinals get rid of him? I guess they didn't want to pay him. And why did the Baltimore Ravens want to get rid of him? Well, and not franchise tag him. But I think the issue is that, Lamar Jackson don't throw the ball down the field that deep. John Brown will feel a huge need for the Detroit Lions for cheap. One second. John Brown will feel a hell of a need. And I'm looking through the list, and I say John Brown is ranked number 63. He under 30 years old, 29, and he still can run. You know what I'm saying? That's a very, very cheap, quick fix right there. You can sign him probably on a 1 or 2 year prove-it deal, and you feel a need. You know what I'm saying? Kenny Galladay has now become a better route runner where he can line up in the slot. John Brown can take the top off the hat, and it gives you a better receiver than trying to go out there and trade for Deshaun Jackson if you want to really go the cheap route. You know what I'm saying? And what Deshaun Jackson is, he not always You know what I'm saying? He's not really always in tune. And we'll get to some of those other needs, okay? But he's not always in tune. We're going to talk about some value picks in any position. He's not always in tune what the team want to do. He'll lose all, I can't look at the word. He'll just lose the eye. He just won't be engaged. That's what I'm trying to say. He won't be engaged. And with him not being engaged into the team, man, he if we start losing, we'll lose Deshaun Jackson. That's if Baltimore trade him or whatever. But John Brown, he 5'11", good size, play inside, play outside, give you a deep threat receiver. I like him as a pickup for the Detroit Lions, man. That's a huge, great pickup. Now we just gonna start off from the bottom of the list. And you got some other guys that's pretty good there that's down here. Charles Clay would have been a nice pickup for the Lions regarding tight ends, but he got signed by the Arizona Cardinals today. Let's keep going up. Keep going up. You got right tackle Jason Van Deer, 31 years old. Yeah, might as well keep Rick Wagner. Brashad Breeland, he went to he pretty much, I think Nevin Lawson can beat him out, but we're going to talk about Nevin Lawson. Dante Moncrief is another receiver that played with Blake Bortles that sucked, that can get down the field, but I like John Brown better. Jimmy Ward was a guy that I wanted to come to Detroit Lions about 4 or 5 years ago. He's a guy that could play the safety position and could play the nickel position, but but the thing about Jimmy Ward is, he's really a guy that don't have a position. You know what I'm saying? He can play corner, he can play safety. But you got to find him a position. I think he could be potentially a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Shane Ray is another guy that a lot of people wanted the Lions to take the year they took Eric Taylor Decker, excuse me. He on a free agent like for cheap. You know what I'm saying? So we just going down the list. Brandon Marshall, inside linebacker. Fast, can cover. Somebody that's cheap. He 29 years old from the Denver Broncos. I'm not talking about the receiver. Just going through some lists. You need to put some pressure on Stafford. Don't want to draft a quarterback. How about Tyrod Taylor? Devin Funchess, Detroit native. He's a free agent. We got 3 big body receiver. I think we need a little bit somebody that can get up the field and run. Morris Claiborne, a guy that revitalized his career with the New York Jets. And we'll stop it right there, okay? And we got to know that the Lions' whole MO is to be pretty much frugal. They got a ton of cap space this year. I think it's guesstimated to be between 40, 50 million. And I will interact with Chet. Give me 1 second. But the whole thing about it is who the Lions, do they want to spend money? Because last year we wanted to spend money, but we understood we had a lot of dead money on the cap, and they didn't do a lot last year. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to shoot for the stars for, like he said, the Landon Collins, or people want to shoot for the stars for Trey Flowers and stuff of that nature. But guess what? There's value out there. There's value out there where you don't have to go out there and move assets for Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham. You got to think like, Bob Quinn gonna think. Okay. At the end of the day, you gotta understand. They got to identify what they want to do and where they want to spend money at. Do you want to be a pass rush by committee? Because for one, you got a stud in Deshaun Hand that can play inside, outside. Snacks Harrison stop the run. You really could put Devon Kennard hand in the dirt to make him a full-time pass rusher. You could bring in a middle linebacker like C.J. Mosley, kick Davis to the outside, and then you can bring back Zeke Ansah for a cheap price, and then bring in Trey Flowers. You could bring in Jadeveon Clowney. It depends on what premium do they put on a pass rusher. How bad do Matt Patricia want a pass rusher? Or is it like in New England where we just do it by committee and we just do get some young talent and we do it by front four? Well, that's not going to work everywhere. I think we need a premier pass rusher as well. But, hey, that's just what my opinion is. But at the end of the day, you got a lot of pass rushers out there, and we got 10 days before they could tag some dudes out there. So let's get to the chat. We had C.J. Mosley before. No, C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, not the defensive tackle. This is the one out of Alabama. Yep, that's a different one. Lawson needs to go. Yeah, I agree, but he signed a 3-year deal for $9.5 million with incentives. So, at the end of the day, he keep beating out who they bring here. He beat out DJ Hayden. He beat out Deshaun Shedd. He just kept beating whoever they brought here. So, that's why I've been an advocate on my channel. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying this has to happen. That if I was going to trade for somebody, I would trade for Jalen Ramsey. I feel like he can give this team an attitude, man. I really do, man. That's just my opinion. He might be sassy, but he seemed to kind of be the energy and kind of be the face or the attitude or the juice for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think he could do the same thing for the Detroit Lions. It's a team that need an attitude. May it be bringing back Ndamukong Suh or bringing in Jalen Ramsey or both. This team needs an attitude, and they need an enforcer in his defense. And I think, that's the last thing they're looking. I think Quandre Diggs is an enforcer, but they need somebody that give them identity, a real identity. And that's just my opinion. Maybe you could bring back Sue, but he lost a step. He can't eat double teams. Why not bring Antonio Brown in for 3 or 4, just 3? Fetty. The thing about Ndamukong Suh is he wouldn't even have to eat double teams with Deshaun Hand and with Damon Harrison. But I agree, he is older. But I think he would eat. Especially if you paired him up with another pass rusher, he wouldn't have to eat double teams no more. You have to double team Snacks, Hand, or whoever pass rusher you bring in. But think about Antonio Brown is Lions want high character guys. They want goody two shoes. You know what I'm saying? They want high character guys, and Antonio Brown is not a high character guy. And maybe if they do some investigating, they find out that he really wasn't the biggest issue in Pittsburgh. So that's something to look at. Easier field, pass rush in DN line, outside line, or cornerback. The pass rusher. It's going to be an easier field because the Lions have the talent and the depth along the line to accommodate a rookie that come in. He's not going to see double teams. You know what I'm saying? You got Snacks, Hand, and Kennard. I mean, that's formidable. You bring in somebody else, they should eat. You can't double team one guy if everybody healthy and do their job. And don't forget, you got Romeo Rockwell and Eli Harold. So you got a pass rush by committee. You have depth there. Cornerback position is very, very scarce in the free agent pool. And then rookies take a long time to develop. You do have some you do have some blips, some exceptions there, like with Marshawn Lattimore and New Orleans Saints. I agree we need to fill in for Slade, but that was a Fetty that asked that question. And choice, John Brown would be a good number 2 receiver to go with Kenny Galladay. I think he actually would be number 3 because Marvin Jones is a number 2 receiver in my opinion. Marvin Jones is still good, but people forget Marvin Jones, and people are going to be mad, but people forget about Aaron Rodgers too. People forget Aaron Rodgers injured his leg in the first game versus Chicago. He was playing with an injury all year. So was Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones injured himself in camp. He wasn't the same all year, so he was injured. So Marvin Jones didn't just have a bad year. He got injured in camp. He was killing in camp, and then he got injured. So pretty much people got to remember that. Yeah, I like Jesse James as a tight end as well. Streetwise Television, I feel like Bob Quinn is waiting till he feels like there's enough depth across the board before he can go making big splash. And that could be a great observation, but that ain't gonna happen. That it's a long time till you get depth across the board, and I don't think he has that time to get that depth across the board because you're talking about a depth issue with the Lions that go back to the Millen era. And I don't mean the Lewan and the Lewan and Mayhew era. I mean the actual Millen era. You know what I'm saying? The actual Millen era is like, dude, like when you missing picks with Ernie Sims, Roy Williams, Charles Rogers, and you missing like 7 picks, 8 picks in the draft, that affects your depth till now. You know what I'm saying? All through the years where he was missing picks and then Mayhew was having subpar drafts, all that actually affects the depth. To actually get the depth that Bob Quinn wanted, he would legitimately need a decade, legitimately a decade to get the depth around the board. And if not a decade, then he needs about 5 or 6 years of perfect drafting. Like he legitimately have to get, if you got 7 picks, he'll legitimately have to have 4 or 5 picks out of those be starters. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing about it. The depth overall in this team can't be built off of 3, 4, 5 years. This takes decades. It's been decades on top of decades of bad drafting that mess with this depth. So, yeah, he you know, it is what it is. I wouldn't want to trade Marvin Jones unless I'm trading him for Antonio Odell, you know, as part of a package. I wouldn't want to trade Marvin Jones because Marvin Jones didn't have a fall off year. Marvin Jones was dealing with an injury the whole year. He injured his knee. So one bad year, you know, you're gonna move Marvin Jones. I wouldn't do that. John Brown, Marvin Jones, and Brandon Powell and Kenny Galladay is more than formidable enough, but that's just my personal opinion on it. I was a big Marvin Jones guy before he even got here. You know what I'm saying? That's more than enough because the Lions gonna become a power run game team though. But let's continue to go down the list. Miss Blackbuster D said, "Hey, the Lions should pick players based on a system, not the best player available." Yeah, but the system player can get you messed up too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got players that's just so transcendent that you gotta pick them and you gotta make a way. Like Russell Wilson with the Seattle Seahawks, they had to put an offense around him. Lamar Jackson. Some guys are so talented that you got to make a system around them. But I agree. But I'm still more of a proponent of the best player available, as long as he doesn't have to overhaul his scheme to fit his team. Now, for example, you looking for a route running receiver, and you gonna draft a guy that like Brashard Perriman who don't run no routes. All he knows is go routes. Then I agree with you. Even though Brashard Perriman might be the best player on the board because of his speed and getting down the field, but hey, you know he not gonna fit what you're gonna do. So it's a thin line between best available and then players that fit your system. But tight end right here, Zach Eifert. Zach Eifert is probably one of the best tight ends. You know, he's probably one of the best tight ends out there. But we got a problem. Every time he get hot in Cincinnati, he get fucking injured. Excuse my language. So he's one of those best tight ends out there, 28 years old. But man, you know what I'm saying? You drop a penny on this ankle, it's gonna break. You know, Ansah not broke. Ansah's broken, not worth it. The thing about Ansah is I would re-sign Ansah, but you don't have to pay him much. You could make him a 1 year $3-4 million deal with incentives. Nobody getting paid Ziggy Ansah no money. Get him a incentive-based contract, make him a situational pass rusher. You know, on known passing downs, we'll put you in there. On known downs, we need a sack or a run stop, we'll put you in there. Don't make him a full-time defensive end. That's just how you figure that out. Plain and simple. If I was Ziggy Ansah myself, I would take a year off of football and let my body heal. You know, if I played my bag the right way. You know, but hey, that is what it is. Okay. I'm just going through. Hi, Clint Dix. I'm not a fan of him. No, nothing personal. You know, he's the one that kind of interests me. Ja'Wuan James from the Miami Dolphins, right tackle. Okay, we just gonna go through the list, not individually break these down still. But Ja'Wuan James from the Miami, good right tackle, not a left tackle. But at the end of the day, I think he's upgraded from Rick Wagner. I think he'd be cheaper than Rick Wagner, and he's young. And then you can go ahead and put Crosby in the right guard. And then Ja'Wuan James and Crosby, they both can play right tackle, guard, and they can play left tackle, and they give you depth. I wish, yeah. And they give you depth. So Ja'Wuan James is value. We talking value picks right now. And we looking at value. And he had a little injury problems. But you know, you get somebody like that away from Miami, and maybe he does blossom, in my opinion. But you know, if they looking to get rid of Rick Wagner, I mean, you know, eventually they'll be looking to get rid of Taylor Decker if they pick up his if they don't pick up his fifth option or whatever. But if somebody look at Ja'Wuan James was a good player out of Tennessee. Tennessee, you know, talking on Tennessee, I don't know if we got any Tennessee fans in here. I got a guy that's a Tennessee fan. That's my boy. I started doing YouTube videos on his channel first, but that's nor here nor there. Big Tennessee fan, but they got some great players that come to Tennessee. But they just, you know, not good management, not good athletic director, not a good head coach. Kareem Jackson from Houston Texans, he too slow. He old. Demaryius Thomas, injured. You know, got in a car accident, so I kind of think, you know, with his torn up leg, he won't be an option for us. But he is the type of guy that could be like Larry Fitzgerald, and you know, wherever he go, he can play the slot. And I think if he can, be the route runner that Larry Fitzgerald could be, it'd be a great year. Pierre Garcon, I'm not a fan. He's 32. Trey Boston is one of my favorite safeties in the league, at least when he was with Carolina. Kind of does what Cadre did, kind of one of in the box safeties. But he good safety out there, do a lot. But yeah, let me get to some of these questions, man. I see a lot of people talking about Greedy. I haven't really started evaluating cornerbacks yet. I understand Greedy's a big, long guy, combine first through the fourth, so I do my evaluations on him. But Bashar, what's going on? The thing about cornerbacks is they develop late. Unless you got a Marshawn Lattimore, it's gonna take time. Even Darrelle Reeves, it took time for him to develop. So, it is what it is. Kind of stop for a minute. Matter of fact, let me keep going for a minute through some names. And some of these names I haven't even looked at the complete list, but I'll drop the link in the description. And you can, Sports Illustrated is really, really good at their interface. It's kind of one of the reasons why I switched from Xbox to from PlayStation to Xbox. Xbox got a better interface, and this is my opinion on it. I like PlayStation to death, but I like the Xbox interface, man. You got a Super Nintendo Classic and Xbox right here. I don't play my Xbox tonight. I ain't been playing it. James Carpenter, not a fan of him. He just, he never really panned out. I think he's from North Carolina. Cole Beasley, it'd be slot insurance for Brandon Powell, but he's 30 years old. What the fuck? He coming to the league at 50? Thomas Davis is a free agent, but through all the knee injuries, I think Thomas Davis want to go somewhere like New England and try to get a championship. So at 36 years old, I don't think he really would help us at all. He's an outside linebacker. Our luck, he'd come here and tear his ACL for the 5th time. Dontrell Inman, big receiver, more of the receiver we already got. Indianapolis did a great job with him last year. I think they should bring him back with homeboy. What's homeboy name? Andrew Luck. Brashard Perryman, just spoke on him in a hypothetical. Fast guy, injury prone. Don't want him. Dante Fowler, we talked on him. I like him a lot. Preston Smith, a lot of people like him. Somebody mentioned him in the chat. Edge rusher, 26 years old. Can play 3-4, probably put his hand in the dirt. Jay Ajayi is a free agent. If you went to, complimentary backs with Kerryon Johnson for a cheaper price. Deion Buchanan is another safety hybrid linebacker. We already got one of those on the team. The kid from Utah State. What's his name? Miles Killebrew. Randall Cobb. He ain't shit. No offense to him. Golden Tate. They could bring him back. Now, here's a guy I like. And this is where I'll stop the list at right here. I'm going to stop the list at 2 players, okay? Talk about Bradley Roby in a minute, but I'm going to talk about Demetrius Harris from the Kansas City Chiefs. Block, catch, I believe he's around 6'7", 6'5", something like that. But I think when you talk about value for tight end, Demetrius Harris at 27 years old from the Kansas City Chiefs will be a great upgrade for the Detroit Lions without wasting a draft pick. Not old guy, can block, can catch, red zone threat, and got some big catches with Kansas City, and he has some AFC Championship game experience. You talking about value pick? He's indicative of what a value pick would be for the Detroit Lions. Very good route running. A lot of good potential. Obviously, he played behind Travis Kelce. He probably was the 18th option on that team with Demarcus Robinson and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and eventually Calvin Benjamin and Sammy Watkins when he was healthy. So Demetrius Harris, don't forget that name. Demetrius Harris is a hell of a pickup for the Detroit Lions. And it won't be no pickup that'll break the bank. Or it won't be a pickup that you say, oh, man, this shit is flashy. Great pickup. Bradley Roby is my other guy before I get back to the chat. I love Bradley Roby. I hate Ohio State, but Bradley Roby will be a great fit for the Detroit Lions. No way, no how. Nevin Lawson stars over Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby is a good-sized corner. Played opposite of Chris Harris in Denver. Was overshadowed when Talib was there as the third corner. Played a little bit nickel. Great value pick. If you want to go cheap, You still want a cornerback that's young, put him on turf, play it outside. So he got hard-nosed ability. You know what I'm saying? He been out there in the cold. Really, really battle-tested cornerback. It's still young. I like Bradley Roby for the Detroit Lions, in my opinion. I like Bradley Roby a lot. So the Lions, and before I get back to the chat, the Lions have a lot of options in the free agency, and we ain't even got to the players that could really target Frederick. What's going on? We haven't really got to the players that really could actually be, franchise tag. So it's a ton of value out here for the Detroit Lions that they might have to overpay, but you're not going to break the bank with some of these Bradley Roby, Dron Brown, Juwan James. A lot of guys with versatility. John Brown, oh shit, Kenny Galladay went down, or Marvin Jones went down. John Brown get out there and run routes and go deep. So Bradley Roby, no way never lost and beats him out. Unless Bradley Roby come here and just come to the games drunk and high at the same time. He can come drunk or high and still be better than never lost. And don't forget, Mike Ford provides depth. Jamal Agnew, knee injury wasn't bad as we thought they was. So, hey, it's a ton of value there, man. It's a ton of value there. Ton of value. We can go from having one of the worst secondaries to one of the best secondaries. Let's talk about it. Okay. I'm going to get right here where I dropped the link. Gritty, but he's that good. He might be getting taken 4th or 5th. Okay. I have to do some research on him, Vandy. Bashar, he says that should the Lions sign Landon Collins? Landon Collins is a box safety, so it depends on how they evaluate Quandre Diggs. They just signed Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs can cover. Landon can cover a little bit. It also matters about Tracy Walker. How good is Tracy Walker right now? Is Tracy Walker good enough to be your starting safety? But he is on a rookie contract, so you could have Landon Collins and you could play all three. But I think you can sign Landon Collins, but it'll be a necessity, not a need. As I look at it, and they don't have a big need at safety if they believe in Tracy Walker. And I think they do. You don't take somebody third, and Tracy Walker was drafted to replace Glover Quinn, because Glover Quinn was supposed to retire last year, but he didn't. Brandon Powell's and Marsh just waiting. You'll see. Hopefully the new offensive coordinator Darrell Bevel get him the ball. We pay $70 million to Ansa. Flowers won 15. It depends. How do they rate Flowers? How do they rate him? Because really, Deshaun Hand can do what Flowers can do if you want to put him on the defensive end. Do you want a complete defensive end, or do you want from the blind side a guy that's electric off the edge? And we talking to Demarcus Lawrence is electric off the edge. Davion Clowney is electric off the edge. Both Lawrence and Clowney can stand up too. So it depends on the versatility. Can Trey Flowers play on the inside? I don't know. What do you think about Zadarius Smith? Not familiar with him. Is he coming out the draft? Because I've been doing some draft evaluation, but let me know. Brandon, my dog keep farting, bro. He about to get put out. He going to his room. This shit is just disgusting. It was tuna, egg, and dog food day. Now, if you don't know what tuna egg do, you put tuna in a raw egg, you mix it with your dog food. You usually do it once a month. But my dog got coat issues because he inside all day, so I got to get him a humidifier downstairs, or wherever he sleep at, which is rarely in his room. But the tuna or salmon and egg mix per month, it helps your coat. It helps your dog's coat shine, so you don't have to spend that money on dimes. For those who spend dimes, it helps your dog coat shine. So it helps with the cold and the oils, keep your dog skin, moist. My dog stay in the house, so he got dry skin because our ear is dry in the house. So I got to change that, but. You don't hear about my dog stories. Brandon Graham, his uncle coached me in high school. Like Brandon Graham, another guy he is old, but he got championship pedigree. He from Detroit, so I'm always going to favor Detroit. DeMarcus Lawrence or Trey Flowers. I favor DeMarcus Lawrence just because I want that electricity off the edge. That's just my opinion, but I like Trey Flowers too. He's older, but maybe he take a pay cut to come back to Michigan. Frank Clark is another option. I think Frank Clark may get franchise tag. Yeah, I won't be mad at Frank. I won't be mad at Trey Flowers. Mahomes makes guys look good. Hey, man, if you can catch the ball, you can catch the ball. Harris, even if he's not that good, guess what? He cheap. Grady trash lazy, don't play big against big competitors, and he's scared of contact. Boy, I had to go watch him. Boy tried to talk. Bradley Roby's a heck of a player. Let me see. The Lions need safety. Darnell Savage is a good 4th, 5th round guy. I think they really gonna want a guy that's developed. Somebody said Ed White said don't get Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, that's a risk. But could you imagine him and Kerryon Johnson in the backfield? That'd be nice, but that's a necessity, and we can agree on that. That's not something that we need. Vivian Williams, what's going on? Beast Mode. Okay, I read that one. What about Grady Jarrett? I don't think they need Grady Jarrett. It depends on what the price tag for Grady Jarrett is. But they just need depth behind Damon Harrison and Deshaun Hand. They need depth behind them. You know. But remember, Hand can flex out to the outside. Brandon LaFell, no, I don't like him, man. He a little older. Earl Thomas, that's another necessity pick. The Lions' needs are, in my opinion, it depends on Tracy Walker. So if they think Tracy Walker is ready, then anything involving the safety would just be a third option. And they do roll 3 safeties. But I don't know. Landon Collins would probably be the ideal pick. He might get franchise tag too. So Landon Collins can cover and he can be a box safety. And plus, he gonna want to get paid because he was a 2nd rounder. When I look at needs for the Lions, in my opinion, I go all 3 linebacker spots. I really want an inside linebacker, so I put a premium on CJ Mosley in free agency. A guy that can stop the run and cover. You can push Gerard Davis to the outside. Davis still got to learn how to cover better. And he got to learn how to harden his speed too. So I put a premium on inside linebacker position because, Bush and White, they smaller, but CJ Mosley is a man. He might get franchise tag. So Christian Jones, he expendable. He should really be a depth guy. So, you push Davis to the outside. Most of the time you in dime coverage anyway in the NFL. So you always go roll with 2 linebackers. Christian Jones can play middle linebacker. Then you have Davis that can play middle linebacker. Then we need a pass rusher, obviously. But I'm pretty much looking that they may draft one or they might get one in free agency. So it depends on what really the needs they put on the Lions defensively. I would say a star pass rusher, but they can do it by committee with Romeo, Eli, Devin Kennard. But I think they need that one stud, maybe Trey Flowers or Davion Clowney, who is yet to get franchise tag, will be a huge get for the Lions. He can stand up, dropping coverage. You can do a lot of funky things with him and DeMarcus Lawrence and Brandon Graham and Frank Clark. Frank Clark and Trey Flowers are mostly hand of the dirt guys. But I think they need to get one of those guys. And then, let's just say hypothetically they bring in Mosley or they find an inside linebacker. They get a pass rusher. Then we got to need that cornerback. So cornerback is a position where I think shut up, Ghost of Drive Shooter. Oh, shut up. What's going on, though, bro? Hopefully all is well. I'm going to say this, man. The one place I put a premium on is that cornerback position. And I kind of changed my mind on that. No, Christian Jones is an inside linebacker, coverage linebacker. The Lions don't run a traditional 3-4. You know what I'm saying? They don't run a traditional. They still running I don't know what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? But Christian Jones is a 4-3 linebacker, a 3-4 inside linebacker. So I don't know what the fuck they run. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Kennard putting his hand in the dirt and when they in dime coverage. Sometimes he's standing up covering in 4-3. I really don't notice Christian Jones because majority of the time he probably not even on the field because they in dime coverage. So I have to go break down some film. I rarely notice him. But cornerback, because ain't a lot of good cornerbacks out there in free agency. Okay. They got the kid from Eagles. What's his name? I just looked at his name. The kid from the Eagles that tore his knee up is the number 1 corner, but I like Bradley Roby better. And if the Lions can get Bradley Roby, and I see somebody in the chat say they ain't trading Jalen Ramsey, you never know. But I would get Bradley Roby, and I would be fine with Bradley Roby, Slay, Agnew, and Evan Lawson and Mike Ford. I would be happy with that, but I still would take a cornerback in the middle rounds. But if they bring in another safety, Tracy Walker is an excellent corner. I don't know why they didn't play Tracy Walker at corner. Maybe they felt like they was overloading him. He was splitting time with Glover Quinn last season. But the cornerback position is the hardest position to get. That's the hardest position to get on this market right now because your rookies, it's a good chance your rookie may not be better than Neville Lawson. It's a great chance that Neville Lawson may beat Greedy Williams out or the dude from Georgia. It's a great chance that they may struggle at this level. And Greedy is what, 6'3", I believe. It's a great chance that he might struggle covering shifty and faster receivers. It's a great chance that may happen. So I would rather go Bradley Roby, and then I say, okay, in the second round, third round, fourth round, I start looking at cornerbacks that could develop. But I like Mike Ford a lot, and people say, oh, he ain't that good. But shit, for an undrafted rookie that came in, don't know the playbook, imagine another year. I don't think Neville Lawson beat out Mike Ford next year. So, but I like Bradley Roby now. We spoke a lot about the defense, and rightfully so. But we do have a new offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? We do have a new offensive coordinator. I said it again, Darrell Bevell. And I think the philosophy is going to go heavy run. I think they're going to do what the New Orleans Saints did. Now, if you don't know what the New Orleans Saints did, or you didn't watch my Le'Veon Bell last video earlier today, with the New Orleans Saints offense struggled at the same time our offense struggled under Joe Lombardi. But the difference was Joe Lombardi got his ass fired, and Jim Bob Cooter took over, and Sean Payton made the adjustment. And the adjustment that Sean Payton just so happened to make was that he said, okay, I understand that Drew Brees is older now, and Drew Brees no longer can sit there and throw the ball 30, 40, 50 times a game. And like it or not, your quarterback is older now. He don't need to be dropping back 30, 40, 50 times a game when Lang, Rick Wagner, Glasgow, Taylor Decker, and Ragnow can't protect him. So what they're going to do now is heavy sets. You're going to see a lot of two tight end personnels. You're going to see a lot of tight sets, a lot of power O or power I formations. You're going to see a lot of tight formations, jumbo formations, I'm trying to say, with this team now. So that's good, though. But that means that you're going to have running backs that carry out the mission. You're going to have Kerryon Johnson. I like Zach Zenner, but this week come in at. I see somebody say C.J. Anderson. I like him. But I want to get younger. And some of the running backs out there are some younger running backs out there that could provide some sauce. Obviously, you can go back to the draft again. Philip Lindsay, I mentioned him earlier. He was an undrafted free agent. We all remember him from Denver. He had a hell of a year last year. You know what I'm saying? But if you get into the running back race, Mark Ingram is a guy a lot of people been screaming about. Mark Ingram. He from Flint. Mark Ingram. He gonna have a price tag. You gotta remember he got character issues because of performance enhancing drugs. So I don't know where the Lions stand on him. Okay. Let me see. Keep going. See if there are any other running backs in here. I've seen Adrian Peterson. He older. I think he deserved to go somewhere else. So really, I mean, it ain't Tevin Coleman. You know what I'm saying? There's another guy. I actually personally didn't. I fell out of grace with him last year because the dude Ito Smith ran the ball better than Tevin Coleman. But Tevin Coleman has the ability to catch the ball out the backfield, and he has home run ability, and that's kind of what the Lions looking for. With Zach Zenner and pounding it up the inside, and with Kerryon Johnson able to pound up the inside, you need somebody that could be a home run breaker. But Tevin Coleman is going to run up a check. Now, I wasn't really saying the line was trash, but as a unit, a lot of them was trash as a unit because of the injuries. But that's what we're looking at. So, like I said before, you can go to the draft, but my whole stance on Le'Veon Bell is like, if they do it, they do it, I'll be happy about it. If they don't do it, I mean, I'm not mad about it because I understand it. But, Kerryon Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, it would be a great tandem. I mean, it depends on how creative the offensive coordinator can be with both of them because you can have them both in the backfield at the same time. You can have them on the field at the same time. Le'Veon Bell can legitimately line up and be a slot receiver and be formidable. You know what I'm saying? Same as Kerryon Johnson. He didn't really get he didn't really get featured like that. Yeah, Jay Ajayi as well too. I just spoke on him a while ago. I forgot about his name, but I like Jay Ajayi too. But like I said before, if I'm going all the way, if I'm gonna pick one of these dudes, man, and if I'm gonna pick one of these dudes, and I really want to make a statement to the fans of Detroit, going to get Le'Veon Bell would be a statement. I'm not 100% all in on him. But the things that him and Kerryon can do in Darrell Bevell offense, if he able to feature them in the passing game and really run with them, Stafford would look like a star. Stafford would be the most efficient quarterback in football. And that's that. If they even get Tevin Coleman, if they get somebody in the draft to go with Kerryon Johnson, where this team is legitimately running the ball 20 times a game, and then another 10 to 15 passes to the screen game to the running backs, out the flats over the middle, If they was able to change their offense like Drew Brees, and Drew Brees ain't doing, and Sean Payton ain't really doing nothing special. Okay, it's nothing special. It's that Zion Williamson. Good God, not a good look for Nike. I just seen that. But Zion. But it's all about running the ball in the NFL is now trendy again. We want to be able to run the ball, everything off the run. If you look at the Los Angeles Rams offense, everything is off the run. And when they figured out to stop that run and everything was off the run, it was a screen game off the run, misdirection, post corner routes off the run, whip routes off the run, drag routes off the run, crossing routes, deep posts, everything was off the run. When people was able to key in and say, okay, we stopped the run and then play the screen game, they don't have nothing else. And same thing for the Saints. The Saints is we're going to run it with Kamara on the edge and then inside, Mark Ingram pounding up on the inside. Then what? Hey, then we're going to hit Kamara in the flat. Then we're going to put Kamara on the Texas route. Then we're going to put Kamara in option routes. We're going to be a matchup nightmare. Imagine what the Lions would be able to do with Le'Veon and Kerryon Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Le'Veon pounding in the inside, Kerryon pounding on the inside, both of them going on the edge, hit them in the screen game, hit them in the slot, hit them in the flats. Stafford will kind of be like Tom Brady, king check down. But then when Stafford is play action, or Stafford just come back and just act like he giving the ball to Kerryon, when they paying attention to the running backs out the backfield, his window is going to be wide open. His window is going to be wide. And you get a formidable tight end. Let's talk about the tight end after this. His windows will be so wide. Marvin Jones will have so many easy touchdowns. Kenny Galladay wouldn't be guarded one-on-one. You have 8-9 men in the box trying to stop Kerryon and Le'Veon out the backfield in the running game. You would have Kenny Galladay can't be guarded one-on-one. Marvin Jones still a burner. You put John Brown in there. The offense would be simple as shit. Nothing complex. Easy reads for Matthew Stafford. Okay, it'll be the same reads for Jared Goff. Hey, man, hand the ball off. Play action, look here, down the middle of the field. If not, go deep, check it down. Bam. You take your quarterback, you simplify the offense, and that's what they did for Drew Brees. Not saying that Drew Brees is stupid, just saying that Drew Brees can't throw the ball 30, 40, 50 times down the field and take a beat no more. Can't happen. It's simplifying the offense. Simplify the offense is just dump it down and let your playmakers do what they got to do. And then we didn't even talk about the screen game. Brandon Powell, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, all these dudes are actually really, really good athletes. It's not, it's maximizing Matthew Stafford's longevity and his talent and making it easy. Stafford, come on, let's keep it real. Stafford been carrying this team for a long time. It's hard to ask a dude to come back for drop back 50 times and win the game. You out your mind. How did Matthew Stafford even survive this long? He supposed to be with Joey Harrington somewhere sipping mojitos or some shit like that. So let's simplify it and let your your playmakers do it. But I'm not advocating for Le'Veon like that, but I will understand it. But like I said before, the tight end position, baby Gronk, what's his name? Hecken, the tight end from Iowa. If he is Gronkowski, he can make an impact. He can line up in the slot like they say they can. I haven't broke down tape on him like that. And he can block. Well, shit, if they take a tight end at number 8 and he work out, hey, look here, man. Just because Brandon Pettigrew failed, just because Eric Ebron failed, we can't put our failures on anybody else that's going to be a tight end for the Detroit Lions. If they feel like he's a position in need and they handle some things in free agency, I'm all in for a tight end. Whatever is the best player available or the best player of need that's going to help the Detroit Lions be best, I'm not gonna put my fears on from Ebron and Pettigrew and future tight end failures on this dude from Iowa. If they feel like he the best, he the best. They feel like they move back and they get him, they get him. You know what I'm saying? If they draft a tight end and he work out, all I'm saying is I'm not saying they will or won't draft a tight end in the first round. But all I'm saying is you can't put your fears of Eric Ebron and Brandon Pettigrew on this next guy. That's it. March 13th, I think the New Year League start. So happened to be my birthday. So I'll be turning 30. You can't believe it, right? I don't look 30. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And my daughter's birthday is the week before mine. My dad's birthday is 2 days before mine, I believe. And my uncle's birthday is right around the same week. That shit crazy. So, yeah, I still pump out content on my birthday, so don't worry. That whole weekend I'll be gone. I was going down to Texas to cover a fight for my other channel, but I just changed my mind. I didn't want to do it no more. But hey, man, yeah, it's just light free agent talk. I answered some questions before I get off, man. I got one more fucking stream to do, if you believe it or not. One more stream to do for the night. I don't even know if I'm gonna do it. I'm tired. Yeah, I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? I rarely drink too. I was at the plant, I drank a little bit more, but yeah, that plant life, man, that shit, man, fuck that. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. But yeah, my girl, she turned 30 2 months ago, so she beat me to 30. You know what I'm saying? I don't fear getting old, man. A lot of people where I come from don't get to see 30. A few of the guys I, came up with, they in jail, or some of them might be dead. One of them is dead. He didn't get to see 30, so I look at it as a badge of honor. When you younger, talk shit. Stafford can't make tight ends. That's not his job. Nope, that's Jim Bob Cooter's job, or was. NFC North quarterbacks, Trubisky number 3, bro. I'm still taking Stafford. Rodgers, Stafford, Trubisky, and then Cousins. Trubisky had a lot of weapons this year, though, bro. Trubisky more of a runner than a thrower, but it'll come. It'll come. I hate the Bears. There's only 2 teams in the NFL I hate. I hate the Bears, and I hate them damn Cowboys. Every time we lose to the Cowboys, I die a little bit inside. I hate losing to the Cowboys. That's the one team that I fucking hate. I hate the Cowboys. And I hate the fucking Bears. But the Cowboys, I can't stand the fucking Cowboys, bro. I can't stand the fucking Cowboys. Finn says, how do you feel about Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn going to the Spartans basketball game? Oh, I didn't even know they went. No, I don't feel nothing bad. I ain't even been watching college. Nothing, bro. Nothing. I'm just watching the game right now with Zion and him. He got injured. I don't feel nothing about it, man. It's funny today it'd be feel synonymous with that organization after everything that went on with the sexual thing, but it is what it is, man. Blake Griffin was at the Michigan game. Maybe they start scouting some talent on the basketball court. Turn the tight end. Why Ebron go to the coast and be Bar because Andrew Luck is a little bit better than Stafford? That's your nah. And Ball, you meant no. I mean Andrew Luck is better than Stafford. I will say that. I like Andrew Luck, big Luck fan. Before injury, I thought he was done, bro. Real talk, I thought he was done. But my personal opinion is because they utilized Ebron the right way. And I pointed it out on my channel a few times that Eric Ebron was not utilized in Detroit. He was used as a timing pattern route runner. When I say timing pattern, that means, get to the 20 and run an in route. Or make sure they use him as a timing pattern route runner, as a precise route runner, or go to the flats, make something happen, screen game. They never used Eric Ebron to get vertical. They didn't use him in a wheel route. Indianapolis, I watched a lot of the games. They put him in a real route, act like he was going for a screen, then he go upfield, outrun the coverage. He worked the seams, he worked the skinny post, he worked the deep post, the post route, he worked the post corner route when you fake to the corner and come back to the post. They worked him on devil moves. They let him get vertical, and when Jack Doyle was healthy, they let Jack Doyle do the route run and work underneath. The Lions never featured Eric Ebron's speed and ability to get downfield. They utilized him on timing patterns, and that's not Ebron's game. Ebron was able to get up the field. He can outrun the coverage, work the seam, post route, simple shit. speed routes, be able to get down the field. But the Lions to draft a player, like Ms. Black was saying, and draft him, and he don't fit their system as a tight end. Jim Bob Cooter doesn't know how to utilize tight ends. Luke Wilson is another guy that got vertical with Seattle. He ran down the field and he caught deep passes. They got him running drag routes and shallow cross routes. It's just a problem, man. But it is what it is. Hate the Bears. I hate the fucking Bears. I don't give a shit what you think, Joe. Ghost to Drive Truder. Hate the fucking Bears. I was happy when the Eagles stumped y'all out. How much you want to beat the Bears? Bet the Bears win 8 games. What happens like that? Streetwise Television. You see it with the injuries. That's no hating on the Bears. It happens. It's part of rites and passions for football teams. Seattle was different. They lost to Atlanta. They was a young team. Next year they came healthy and made a Super Bowl run. When you become the hunted, it's different than being the hunter sneaking up on everybody. The Bears was the hunter this year. Not next year they'd be the hunted. So it'll be the steps that Trubisky take next year, and then if they add somebody else like Antonio Brown. So it'll be interesting. They don't have 2 first-round picks this year, next year, but it's a good team. I'm not gonna hate. We did amazing. Yeah, we did amazing year drafting last year. Amazing. Bob Quinn is money in the 3rd and 4th rounds for real. You know what I'm saying? He just a day late and a dollar short when it came to the running back position. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, quarterback, the fullback quarterback, yeah, he do come back next year, man. So, you see a lot of different things going to change with Darrell Bevell. I look for a lot of heavy, tight formations. I look for, a simple. I think I look for them to feature the running back. I look for them to bring in a major running back. When I say major, I mean just integral part, not pretty much name. But we'll see, man. I appreciate it, man. Hopefully I can do more of these live streams, man. I'm going to do another live stream this week, I promise you, man. It ain't too much boxing on my other channel that come on, or too much basketball I care about. Well, obviously, the AFF come on. I do watch the AFF because it's pretty lit. But I'll be back with a live stream maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, maybe Friday. I'm not sure, but it'll be Piston related live stream. And see if they pushed for the AFC. Miami pushing, Charlotte pushing in there, the Brooklyn pushing. Obviously, when we talking about the Pistons, to give a little Piston talk, it's a good chance that LeBron went to the West Conference and he won't make the playoffs. So that shit crazy. LeBron may not make the playoffs. We already know Golden State gonna win it again. But I think the East is interesting with Toronto, Milwaukee, Indiana's in there without Victor Oladipo still, Boston. The West is interesting too. So it don't really matter. The Pistons make it to the playoffs, they getting swept. We know that. That's just what the fuck it is, man. So, it's a tough game. Milwaukee is on another level right now. Giannis is averaging 27, 12 or some shit. Nah. We passed up on Giannis for Kentavious Caldwell Pope. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, man. But, we got to be smarter in drafting with the Pistons, man. We should have Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker in the backcourt, but it is what it is, man. We make mistakes, and I remember we drafted Rodney Wright and Darko Milicic. I was a Piston fans in the dog days. Yeah, I mean, from what 94 to 99, 2000, when Chucky Atkins and Dumars and Allen Houston and Grant Hill, Theo Ratliff and man, I was a Piston fans in the dog, and I would watch every day. They would come on WBN. It's called the CW Network now. Every day they would come on. I'll be the only kid watching the fucking Pistons game. When they had the turquoise jerseys, the burgundy jerseys, I would be watching the Pistons. Hardcore Grant Hill. I would be watching that team like they was the greatest team of all time. So I've been watching the Pistons for a long. I've been through the dog days. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the dog days, and I've been a hardcore Pistons fan since Persian's Doughboy Steve Smith was with the Hawks, and he hit a half court shot on the Pistons in a regular season game one day. He was balling, man. So I've been a Pistons fan for a long, long time, and I was born in Detroit. I've been a Lions fan for a long time. I never was from Tiger fan. My family was from the Bronx, so I was always a Yankee guy. That's probably why I don't talk too much Tiger, but I remember the Tigers in the 90s. I mean, they would give away tickets. My friend, his dad would take us to Tiger games, and well, Gonzalez was their big pickup, whatever this dude name was in the outfield, and it would be fucking empty at Tiger Stadium. God, empty. The Tigers sucked in the 90s, bro. They sucked. Like you didn't even need a ticket to walk in the stadium. You didn't need a ticket to walk in the stadium to watch the Tigers play. You know, the Lions was probably the most the Red Wings too. They was a winning team, and the Lions won a little bit in the 90s too, but the Tigers was god fucking awful, bro. Awful, man. But you know, they came back and we made some runs in the 2000s, man. We should have, if we never would have took that long layoff and swept whoever the fuck we swept and beat them quick, they would have got a World Series. But that's a whole different type of topic. I ain't as immersed in baseball as I once was, but you know, I see the Machado character got paid and do with the Padres, and San Diego ain't a bad spot. I'll tell you that right now. He didn't pick a bad spot to get paid in. If he gonna lose, I want to lose in a place like San Diego or Miami. But hey, I appreciate y'all for coming on, man. And I'll be back with more heat as well. We gone.